Hello children, today we are going to revise the lesson Forest our Lifeline. First we are going to discuss profile of a forest. Profile of a forest. Okay, a mature forest can be divided into 4 layers: canopy, crown, understory and forest floor. The uppermost layer of branches which serve as dense roof of trees over the ground in a forest is called canopy. The the layer where trees branch off from the tree trunk is called crown. The shade layer of the forest where low light is available is called understory. And children, shrubs, ferns, grasses and weeds grow below this understory, and decomposers such as bacteria and fungi are found where? In the forest floor. Okay, so this is the profile of a forest. Now we are going to discuss uses of forest. I will take one by one. First, uses. First use, forests prevent soil erosion. Prevent soil erosion. Second, it helps in the regulation of temperature. You know that water transpirate through the leaves, and this water keeps the surrounding cool. Keeps the surrounding cool. Second, this water vapor comes down, forms cloud and comes down as rain. So we can say that trees are responsible for bringing rains. Trees are responsible for bringing rains. Third, it helps in global warming. Like it reduces global warming. You know, greenhouse gas is what? Carbon dioxide. And this carbon dioxide is taken by plants for photosynthesis. So it reduces global warming. Next is, some trees like coconut and palm, they act as windbreakers against incoming storm. They act as windbreakers against incoming storms or strong tidal areas. Okay, which plant? Coconut and palms. Now next is, we get timber, wood from many plants. The wood of many plants is very useful. We get timber. And important plant from which we get timber, they are sal, teak, mahogany. Okay, the wood of this plant is very strong. Sal, teak, etc. Okay. Now next is, this is fourth. Fifth one, we get nuts and spices from plants. Nuts and spices. From many plants we get medicinal, some plants we get medicine from that. We make Ayurvedic medicine and we call those plants medicinal plants. Okay, so the plants from which extract of which we make Ayurvedic medicines, they are eucalyptus, amla, neem, etc. So extract of these plants they use to make Ayurvedic medicines. Some plant like grass, lemongrass, kevra and khas, they are the sources of essential Student, there are many uses of plant, many more uses. Now we are going to discuss interdependence of plants and animals. Okay. A forest is a home of many types of plants, animals and microorganisms. The various organisms are interconnected and living together form a biotic community. So what is biotic community? Plants, animal, microorganisms, they live in forest. The various organisms are interconnected and together they form bio-community, and we also call that biota. I am going to discuss how they are dependent on each other by a food chain. Food chain is what? What is food chain? The food chain, it's a simple representation of energy flow in nature. Okay, food chain is a simple representation of energy flow in nature. As I told you, green plants, they make food with the help of sunlight. They take light energy and it is stored in carrot. Like I am giving you example, this is producer. All green plants are producers. Okay, the energy is stored in the form of chemical. This carrot is eaten by rabbit. The energy transfer from carrot to rabbit, and its body forms. This is consumer, and first consumer is always herbivore. Okay, fox eats rabbit and the energy transfer from rabbit to fox. This is secondary consumers, and they may be omnivore or carnivore. Okay, and fox is eaten, the energy goes from rabbit to fox, and fox is eaten by lion. Lion is carnivore. Okay, is tertiary consumer, we will call. Primary, secondary, primary consumer, secondary and tertiary. Okay, so this is a food chain. As I told you, food chain are simple representation of energy flow in nature. Okay, now we are coming to food web. There are many food chains are going and they are interconnected with each other, and we call that food web. Okay, like we are starting, grass is there. Okay, food web, we are discussing food web. Grass is eaten by deer as well as rabbit. Okay, rabbit may be eaten by fox and it can be eaten by lion also. Okay, now just see other side, grains. Grains are eaten by hen and also rat. Rat is eaten by cat. Cat can also eat hen. Okay, and this hen is also eaten by fox. So all they are interconnected with each other. Other one more is what is eaten by grass is eaten by grasshopper. Okay, grasshopper is eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by snake. So there are many more food chains are running, and some way they are interconnected to each other, and it appears like a web that a spider spins. That is why we call it food web. Okay, now interdependence we are discussing, interdependence of plants and animals. So one way for food, directly or indirectly, all living things depend on plants. Now second, animals they depend for shelter on plants. Okay, Trees in forest provide shelter to many animals like chimpanzees, monkeys, gorillas, snakes, chipmunks, birds and squirrels. Trees absorb the harmful effect of natural elements such as wind, sunlight and rainfall, and they protect the animal. So second way how trees are useful to the animals, they give shelter to them and protect from the harsh conditions. Third is how plants depend on animals. First, like many insects like bees, wasps and all, they help plants for pollination. Okay. After pollination, what takes place? Fertilization. After pollination, pollen grains drop on the stigma of the flower, and then what will happen? Fertilization will take place. After fertilization, what takes place? Formation of fruit. Formation of fruit, and seeds are there inside these fruits. Seeds are what? Babies of plant, we can say. Inside the seeds, embryo is there and new plant comes out. Okay, from that embryo. For pollination, many insects and birds, they help in pollination. So this way animals are helping plant. Second way, seeds are also dispersed by animals. Okay. Seeds of several plants depend on animals for dispersal. Now we are going to discuss disappearance if forest disappear. Okay. Now our topic is what? If forest disappear. So it's a big thing. We get so many things from the forest, and if forests are not there, then there would be a great loss. One by one we are going to discuss. First, it will affect our global climate and local weather. Okay, global climate and local weather would be disturbed if these forests would be disappeared. Okay. This will result in the loss of many species of animals and plants and biological diversity. Second thing, large amount of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, methane, they would be in abundance in the atmosphere. You know, plants, they take this carbon dioxide and use it in photosynthesis, and in return of that they gave us oxygen. So carbon dioxide would be more there, and we call it greenhouse gas, and this causes global warming. Natural resources such as timber, medicinal plants and nuts, we depend on this. If deforestation will take place, these natural resources we will not get. Okay. Next is deforestation can cause flooding, soil erosion. All you know, we had discussed a lot about this. Why flooding will take place, soil erosion. Why? Because the roots are not there. So these things will take place if forest would disappear. Okay. Soil erosion, landslides. This will affect our daily life. Okay. So these problems will take place. So it requires, or we can say our forests need to be protected from the further depletion. So protection of forest is called conservation. Now we are going to discuss about conservation of forest. Conservation of forest. How are we going to conserve our forest? One by one we are going to discuss. First is afforestation. What is the meaning of afforestation? Plant more and more trees. Okay. People should made aware of the damage caused by felling of trees. Government and communities should take steps to plant trees on a large scale. Okay. So, as I told you, what is afforestation? It's a large scale planting of trees on lands where there no forest previously. Second is planned cultivation. This is very important. When we cut the forest for cultivation, plant cultivation, okay, we do not remove the whole patch. Some part we remove of forest and we cultivate. So this is what planned cultivation. A forest should not be cleared of all its trees and converted into an agricultural land. Okay. If we will do that, then this lead to the soil erosion. Now third is prevent illegal logging. What is this? Cutting of trees. Okay, like some smugglers and all are there, they cut and they sell the trees for their benefit. So this already government has made a punishable act. Okay, illegal logging has led to the decrease of lot of trees over the years. The Indian government has laid out rules to prevent illegal logging by making it punishable under law. Next is prevent overgrazing. Like people, they leave their cattle, okay, so that they graze the grass or a small plant. So we need to prevent this overgrazing. Why? Sometimes these animals, they uproot the plant, a new plant which are coming, seeds are there and very small. Sometimes they are trampled by animals. Trampled means these small plants come under their feet and they get damaged. So provision of sufficient pastures should be made, especially in areas adjoining to the forest, to prevent overgrazing and trampling of growing plants by cattle. Now last is what? Protection from forest fire. Protection from, very important point, forest fire. Okay. Fifth point is protection from forest fire. Forest fire considered beneficial for plants, but they might have devastating effects on animal life and people living nearby. These forest fire can be prevented by being careful while burning debris. Fire retardants and water bombs are also used to prevent fire. If fire has taken place, then we can use what? Water bombs and fire retardants to extinguish the fire. That's all, children. Thank you.